Now with some breaking news, rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
After word dropped that Durk's trial got pushed back to May 4th, his attorney immediately filed new paperwork pushing for his release from custody. Listen to this. His legal team used the jail conditions as leverage, stating that the Chicago rapper has been held in a special housing unit without due process since August 29, 2025, and that alone raised eyebrows. They say Durk is locked in a tiny cell, barely big enough for one bed, a toilet, and a sink, spending roughly 23 hours a day boxed in like that. Hold up, the filing goes on to say he doesn't even have access to commissary at all. On top of that, he's only allowed a single phone call per month and 0 in-person visits, which is wild for a case still pending. According to the paperwork, he was originally thrown into special housing as punishment for allegedly having an Apple Watch in his possession. But here's the twist. Durk's lawyers argue that this supposed violation was never reviewed by the unit discipline committee, something that's normally required within 5 working days. And it gets even crazier because inmates from Durk's own cell block have spoken out, confirming that he's effectively being kept in solitary confinement.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS, and right now we're gonna show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they're trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
But Durk's team dropped a message on his story showing support, saying it's crazy how you gotta wait until it gets dark to see who's really with you. Listen to this. It's pretty clear that Durk has started realizing people aren't riding for him the way they used to. And it didn't stop there. Even academics jumped in and spoke on how rappers everywhere seem to be switching sides.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the went on tour with, did songs with, called you they brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to India. These are down low and dirty. And I think this is what, I think Durk right now is thinking that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I feel bad for Durk. When King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him! Free him! Free him! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free... not smart. No, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. And they moved the... I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have sent lawyers. Good for that, but... Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning because you locked up.
Academics went deeper on it, saying Durk likely won't come out the same person he was before he got locked up, if he even makes it home. Hold up, because his whole identity was built on loyalty and always giving back to the people around him. But now, look at this. Everybody who benefited from that love has completely fallen back and left his side.
The Durk y'all loved when he was free, if he gets back out again, he'll never be that Durk. I'm gonna tell you why. He done learned a lot of lessons. This is me assuming, nothing he's told me. But the things that he did for others, y'all know when he came on my podcast, right? And he said, man, your Gunna's a snitch, I can't Gunna. Man, that. I don't care, I love Thug. He said that because Thug told him. Yo, what Durk is realizing, Durk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Durk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song, but...
With this clip blowing up everywhere, prosecutors immediately caught on to what Durk's legal team was trying to pull. Listen to this. To stop the public from feeling sympathy for Lil Durk, they walked into court with brand new evidence. They showed a 2022 selfie of Durk posing with $1 million in cash, and at first glance it just looks like a flex. But hold up,
Prosecutors claim that same photo ties into an alleged $1 million bounty Durk placed on Quando Rondo back in 2022. According to the discovery, the defendant, Banks, allegedly used close lieutenants, including defendant Wilson and a co-conspirator, to line up hitmen. Those hitmen were reportedly flown to Southern California on August 18, 2022, with the goal of taking out Quando Rondo. The documents go on saying this lined up with Durk's promise to reward anyone involved in the plan. They allege Wilson recruited shooters by offering a $1 million payout on Durk's behalf in exchange for traveling to Los Angeles to carry it out. The evidence file even claims co-conspirators were rewarded in other ways beyond just money. Prosecutors point out that Durk appeared in music videos and lyrics tied to the people directly involved in the months after the incident. One example they highlighted was his song "Block is Hot," which they argue was created as a form of reward. But here's the part that really raises eyebrows. Prosecutors say they have multiple cooperating witnesses ready to testify. They claim those witnesses will say Durk was the real mastermind behind the passings. That's why Durk's team is reportedly nervous, believing the feds now have too many witnesses and informants stacked against him. At the same time, Durk has been undergoing visible personal changes while locked up. People inside the courtroom noted he looked noticeably slimmer and had cut his dreads. Court updates later revealed the judge denied his motion to disqualify and also denied his motion to dismiss for vagueness. His motion for a bill of particulars was taken under advisement, and his motion to dismiss count 4 was also taken under advisement. A legal expert following the case then broke down what these denied motions could really mean for Durk moving forward.
And I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only two ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Durk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Durk is guilty. He just can't be the one to actually say it.
He says there's basically zero chance Durk gets this case tossed without first going through trial and fighting to prove his innocence. That take instantly set the internet off, with creators everywhere reacting to what Durk's trial could really mean.
This is my last no jumper. Durk already told me I wasn't supposed to come back up here with that last.
Now look what happened to him.
That man got kids. You talking about look what happened to him.
Definitely not happy about him.
I wouldn't be happy if you go to jail, Adam, because I know you got daughter. Break down.
There's multiple people who are no longer there for their kids as a result of that Durk allegedly called in.
Until they put that on black and white, sir. Stop throwing stuff on a black man who's trying to do something right for the community right now.
The feds have already put out a lot of information about this.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put it out.
So
this is a major platform.
You're not the boss of me. We talk about rap on here. I think it is well within our jurisdiction to talk about the fact
jurisdiction?
that
what type of police is
been
this?
alleged to have ordered them.
This
free smirk though.
Free smirk. But also maybe
police platform. This some police.
Just sit down for a little and decide, hey, maybe I'm not anybody else.
We don't have no proof that we don't.
No matter the motions getting shut down, Durk's legal team still made another push for bond, and this time it had people hopeful. There was even chatter coming from Durk's father that made it sound like release was finally on the table. This marked their third bond attempt, and listen to this, the lawyers came back with a much stronger proposal. The goal was simple: put an offer in front of the judge that would be nearly impossible to turn down.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Even though all of that was happening, things took a darker turn when a snitch allegedly leaked details from a private OTF group chat, which then made its way into a courtroom report. That leak sparked new claims from federal prosecutors, who now allege Durk put hits on O-Block members for not retaliating after King Von's passing. Listen to this. Prosecutors say they plan to bring in a witness who claims Durk personally gave those orders. The paperwork goes on to describe an internal feud, saying Durk clashed with members over his belief that O-Block wasn't doing enough in response to Von's death. And once that narrative hit the public, it had academics and WAC 100 jumping in, breaking down what they believe is really going on with these alleged snitches.
Life, by basically saying he's guilty of for hire. And the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Durk says, y'all that Quando yet? Nothing says that.
No, you missing the point.
Okay.
They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the is cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
that's co-conspiracy too.
I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of them is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other 2 was figuring out how they getting paid.
But hold up, here's where things get interesting, because one of the prosecution's snitches was allegedly caught lying, and that seriously damages their credibility. Listen to this. According to how the documents read, that alone could open a door for Durk to be found not guilty. New court filings also show the main witness completely changed his story. At first, he told authorities there was no bounty involved at all. Now suddenly he's claiming there was a bounty. And while some sources thought D might have been playing games with the feds, that theory doesn't really hold up, since he's reportedly been focused on trying to remove himself from the case entirely.
That's what Didi did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Didi to hire. Didi's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody, and I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
Due to all of this, reports surfaced that prosecutors are now pushing to introduce multiple pages of brand new evidence against Durk, a move that could delay the trial and possibly reopen the door for bond. But hold up, the prosecution wasn't about to let that slide without a counter. Federal authorities announced they believe Durk was also connected to an earlier attempt on Quando Rondo back in 2021 at a Georgia gas station. According to the evidence files, investigators say there's surveillance footage and witness testimony placing Durk in connection with that first attempt. They also point out lyrics where Durk raps, "They on my page like Sly for Von, I know they trolling me," then later references how comments disappeared after the hit on Quando's crew allegedly went down. In a podcast appearance, Durk even said, "For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more," which the feds say lines up a little too clean. What really caught attention is that investigators claim they found lyrics that directly match the reactions to the incident itself. Durk rapped a line about being told they got an addy, and the feds believe that wasn't random. The incident itself reportedly happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the chaotic aftermath. Footage shows a passenger from the vehicle visibly panicking at the scene. Despite all of this, Durk's legal team has continued to argue the charges are extreme and unsupported. Durk's attorney, Drew Finland, publicly broke down the case to explain their position. He stated that the original indictment didn't even name Durk. Instead, it named other individuals and listed one unnamed person. Then, 3 weeks later, a superseding indictment was filed that finally included Durk by name. Finland emphasized that the new indictment was nearly identical to the original. According to him, only one new fact was added. That single edition alleged Durk released a video that celebrated and monetized the situation. However, things got even more complicated for the defense when a new snitch entered the picture. Federal records showed Vonnie's custody status changed, signaling house arrest or full release. People quickly connected the dots and suspected cooperation. That suspicion grew when messages surfaced showing Vonnie discussing plea deal options with a friend. Those messages were later leaked to the public. In the texts, Vonnie explained he was trying to plead down to a 32-year base for murder for hire. He added that the maximum sentence was 43 years of life. He broke down how plea points could reduce his time to roughly 5 to 7 years. Vonnie admitted he didn't want to go to trial because he feared ending up like others who didn't cooperate. He referenced Jam, who hasn't been heard from in months since allegedly snitching. Things took even a darker turn when Vonnie's own father spoke out. After realizing his son was cooperating, his father accused Vonnie of additional crimes. He even claimed Vonnie played a role in King Von's passing and that Durk knew about it. In a recorded exchange, references were made to a back door being opened. Durk allegedly asked, "Is it open?" and Vonnie reportedly replied, "It's off the hinges." That phrase sent shockwaves online. People immediately questioned whether this was implying betrayal connected to King Von. The claim intensified when it was alleged payments were made to Lil Tim shortly after. Academics pressed Vonnie's father on why Durk would ever want King Von gone. The theory started making sense to some once people remembered Durk and Von were tied to the same criminal case. After Von's passing, those charges were dropped, leaving Durk free. To critics, that looked like a legal escape hatch. Others questioned motives tied to contracts and industry power dynamics. It was pointed out that Von wasn't even contractually signed to Durk. Past interviews resurfaced, including claims about jewelry, lawyers, and public defenders. Another theory went viral, questioning Durk's repeated Instagram lives during major passings. Fans speculated those lives may have been used as alibis. If questioned, Durk could say he was live online at the time. Vonnie's father didn't stop there. He also alleged his son was connected to Lil Pab's passing. Audio clips surfaced where he claimed Vonnie ignored advice and wanted to get caught. The conversation spiraled into discussions about trenches, snitching narratives, and leaked texts. Confusion spread as people debated what the messages actually meant. Some argued it was just legal math, not cooperation. Others believed it hinted at deeper involvement. Then came another twist. Yet another potential snitch was introduced into the case. This time, it was D's younger brother, Ted. Rappers online reacted immediately, saying, "Please tell me this isn't real." Reports revealed new body cam footage of Ted allegedly begging to cooperate. This development reportedly changed the entire case dynamic. Durk's lawyers responded by requesting more time on their bond proposal. That sparked questions about what Ted told federal agents, especially since D is believed to be one of Durk's main shooters. Ted likely had knowledge of street activity by association. The wildest part is Ted wasn't even supposed to be involved originally. He was arrested on an unrelated charge. Now he appears to be leveraging what he knows to reduce his own situation. Body cam footage shows him attempting to cooperate before even entering the station. He repeatedly begged officers to listen to him. In holding, he kept waiting for someone to hear him out. Officers told him to calm down and relax. Ted kept pushing, willing to say anything to get out. And that desperation may end up being one of the most dangerous elements in Durk's entire case.